Hey guys, I wanted to give y'all a post Haspin update since episode I think is 139 when we got home. But wanted to give a epilogue, I guess, video for that video. So just finished installing my new camper tires. So I'll give you an update on that and a little update on Red. We'll start with the camper. I just finished installing my new tires. Well, actually, I had Discount Tire put the tires on the wheels, but I took the wheels to them and put the new tires on. Got me some Goodyears, made in the USA tires. None of those China explosive things. So that side's done and ready to go again for the next camping trip. And over here, they're installed too. They seem to be a pretty decent tire. Speed rating on them is a whole lot faster. I've read that they're 87, but I ain't on 87. The previous tires were rated at 65, I think. 65 or 70. I think 70. But they're installed and camper's ready to go. Again, I do have a recommendation if you buy a camper, like from Camping World or Gander or somebody like that. Check your tires. If they're made in China, you might want to replace them as quick as you can. I'll show you some pictures that I shared on Facebook of what those China tires do after a few thousand miles. I only had maybe 5,000 to 6,000 miles on them, but anyway, here they are. And also, if you buy one of these trailers, pop the little cap off of your axles and grease them. While I had the tires off, I thought it would be an excellent time to shoot some new grease in them. I think they're called a Dexter greasing system, where you just plug in your grease gun in the front and pumps the bad grease out. Yeah, it looked like maybe they had a couple little squirts in them. I'm surprised the hubs weren't roasting hot. Then again, that could be why the tires on previously expanded so much, but I felt every trip. But anyway, what I'm getting at is there was no grease hardly in these axles. So that's fixed, and did some inspections here and there, and everything else looked good. Now let's turn our thoughts to Red. Here's the hood. I've done a lot of straightening. I think I might be able to save it. I'm not 100% certain I will go with it again, but I'm not 100% certain I'm not. So it's 50-50, but I still got to do some more fixing. The black part, the bottom is still crushed in a little bit, but you can see damage here from the rollover. But that's pretty much the only thing really visible, other than when you put it on the tractor, the little bolts here that I use for my hinge point that fits on the frame, those little hooks there, it doesn't quite reach. It's almost about an inch too short. The steering tower, how it was all kind of funky, I did fix that. I took a wooden block and a hammer and fixed that and bent it right back into shape. No rear fender damage other than some scuffs right here. It's a little bent in, but that's not noticeable. I can get a pair of pliers and pull that in. That's the only rear damage I have found on this. Of course, the axle seals are leaking. Dennis on the motorcycle gang gave me some tips and hints for fixing that, so I'm gonna try that. Let's see. I fixed this side too on the steering tower. Engine sustained no damage other than a little scuff here and a little scuff there. Most of the damage has been to this front frame extension I made for the shock towers. Let's see, I get myself straight on. You can see how it's raised about 1.5 inches on the right side, or our right side, the tractor's left side. But yeah, it's pretty bent. It's bent right about here where this brace is here. So that brace forward is where it's bent. So it's actually okay up to that brace where the shocks are attached. But I've got some new ideas for it, and I may change out this whole front end again. Maybe do a red 4.0, because I'm not going to let this tractor die. It's been too much fun. And maybe a few fixes on belt routing. I did buy a new idler, and I had one on hand, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I may end up using the one that's on hand, but check out that stinger. When I go straight on, how it points that way. But anyway, there's your little epilogue update. Camper's fixed. Fixing to tinker on red, and but I'm gonna take my time on that. I've got Cal. The only thing was the belt stretched a little bit, and that's mostly in part from loading it into the camper. If you notice in my last video, I was smoking that belt. And I'm pretty certain that's when I stretched my belt, but it's not so bad that it falls off all the time. But anyway, Cal sustained no issues. Storm coming. I just beat it. But anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching. Man, it's hot outside.